For the poor and or non-white, Austin could be a mean town in the 50s. Congress Avenue was the dividing line, with the haves on the west side and the have-nots on the east. Working class and country people were often ridiculed as cedar choppers, stump haulers, and white trash. Across the river from downtown, South Austin was still countrified, with north-south thoroughfares lined with feed stores, tourist courts, junkyards, and beer joints. Hyde Park, now solidly middle class or better, was a gritty neighborhood. As Eddie Wilson tells it, today's solid middle-class addresses once bred street fighters and hoodlums. There were guys who went off to the pen for 5 or 10 years, said Wilson, and once they got out, they couldn't afford to live there anymore. The 6th Ward, east of downtown between 6th and 11th Streets, was the official African-American neighborhood. South of 6th Street down to the river was the 7th, home to a mix of Hispanics and working-class whites. The 7th was also called East 1st Street, renamed Cesar Chavez Street in 1993. Many Hispanics in the East 1st area had been forced to vacate other parts of the city that the city planners of the 1920s had designated for whites only, the same policy that established the 6th Ward as the official black section. In the 50s, the West Side, with its clean streets, Greek Revival mansions, and sprawling mid-century ranch burgers, became the destination for teenagers from the poor side of town. They went cruising for dates, starting brawls and crashing parties. Every October 31st, Tarrytown became ground zero for mayhem and madness. Water balloons, rotten eggs, and other missiles were launched at cars and pedestrians. Street fights broke out. Halloween 1956 would be remembered as a real hell night. Burning tires were rolled into the street. A bunch of teens commandeered the roof of the Gulf Station. Fat Max Rush, lassoed a cop off his three-wheeler. Don Jester cold-cocked a guy who turned out to be a plainclothes cop. Surviving participants include Dick DeGuerin, the renowned defense attorney whose high-profile cases in recent years have starred Willie Nelson, Tom DeLay, and Claire Harris, a Houston dentist who killed her philandering husband by running over him in a Mercedes multiple times. Dick DeGuerin was another flat-topped wannabe thug, following in the shadow of brawling, swaggering Austin High bruisers like Tim Overton, Don Jester, Jesse Freeman, and Sonny Stanley. But on November 1st, 1956, DeGuerin was taken aside by his father. He told me I was headed for prison, DeGuerin told me, just like those other guys. Message received. DeGuerin entered an after-school work program, graduated from Austin High in '58, enrolled at UT in the fall, joined a fraternity, and avoided getting into trouble, unlike many of his former classmates. After graduating UT School of Law in 1965 and passing the bar, DeGuerin learned his trade at the side of the esteemed Percy Foreman, a titan of Texas criminal defense attorneys, and then became a legend in his own right, regularly defending clients who have committed vile, abhorrent acts.